The Omen, June 25th, 1976. This film was directed by Richard Donner, and it stars Gregory Peck as Robert Thorn, Lee Remick as Katherine Thorn, the mother of Damien Thorn, or the adopted mother of Damien Thorn. And it's basically about this couple that are in Rome. And one of them, the husband, Robert Thorn, played by Gregory Peck, is the American ambassador. On June 6th at 6 a.m., Damien is born. And Damien is the son of the devil. He's the Antichrist. And to make a long story short, after Damien is born, a priest tells Robert Thorn, Damien's adopted father, that he has to drink the blood of Christ and accept Christ as his savior, because if he doesn't, then Damien Thorn will take over the world, and Damien Thorn will do this by killing his parents and anybody else that gets in his way. There's really no need to get into detail, because that's exactly what happens. Anybody that gets in Damien's way, either he kills him or his father, the devil, kills him, like the priest. After the priest told Robert Thorn about Damien's true identity, the devil killed him by making some long metal pole impale him and basically nail him to the ground. That's the movie in a nutshell. Anybody that opposes Damien, Damien kills them or the devil kills them in some freak accident. That's it. There's really no need to get into detail about this movie, but I will say this. The acting was great. I loved it. I loved the scene where the priest was telling Robert Thorn, you have to accept Christ as your savior. You have to drink his blood. But getting back to the review, he killed the priest. The devil did, because the priest was a threat. He got in his way. Anybody that gets in Damien's way, I can't say this enough, Damien kills him. And some lady moves in with the Thorn family. But then it turns out that she's actually working for the devil, and she's there to stop anybody from killing Damien. Now, Damien's mother, played by Lee Remick, she thinks she's crazy. So she tells her husband, I think I need to see a psychiatrist. So he sets an appointment up with one. She tells the psychiatrist that the child is evil. Of course he doesn't believe her. Why would he? Why would anybody believe that a child can be evil? Nobody's gonna believe that. And I thought I should point out that Damien is played by Harvey Spencer Stephens. I'm going to be reviewing the other Omen movies. I've already reviewed part 4 a long time ago. I'm going to review 1, 2, and 3. They can be seen on Netflix if you want to see them. Damien's dad, Robert Thorn, takes him to the church. Oh, and by the way, speaking of that, that reminds me. The first time he takes Damien to a church, Damien freaks out. He starts screaming really loud because he doesn't want to go in there. And why would he want to go in the church? He's the devil's son. But anyway, they decide not to take him to the church because he's freaking out so badly. So later on, as the movie goes on, Damien kills his mother. She falls to her death, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, please respectfully correct me in the comments section. Thank you. But anyway, he kills her. leaving only Robert to take care of him. Robert doesn't want to believe that Damien's evil, but he does become suspicious when a whole bunch of weird things start happening. And the nanny is played by Holly Palance. He doesn't want to believe that Damien's evil until things start happening. Once things start happening, then he starts to put it together. The priest told him to go see some man in Israel or wherever it was. This movie was kind of hard to follow, in my opinion. So I admit in this review I might get some things wrong. I just thought it was silly, and maybe that's why I couldn't really get into it. A movie about the Antichrist. I don't know, I just think that's silly. Especially, you know, they're letting a child do all this. But that's my opinion. Long story short, as I was about to say, Robert takes Damien to the church for a second time, because the guy gives him some sacred knives to kill Damien. And he's about to do it. But then he gets the attention of the police because they're wondering why he's speeding through the streets like that. So he gets their attention. And they tell him, drop the knife. He doesn't drop it, so they shoot him. And the next thing you know, they're at the funeral. And everybody's grieving the death of Robert Thorn because he was the ambassador. And as the camera pans down, you see a child. The child turns around and smiles, and it's Damien. Damien's goal was to inherit everything that his father has, his earthly father. And once he got everything that his father had, Satan would do the rest to set up his kingdom on earth. That's basically the plot of this movie. It has 3 sequels. I've already reviewed one of them, so I only have to do 2 and 3 now, and then I'll be done with this series. I didn't really like the movie. I thought it was ridiculous, but the acting was good. It's just that the plot was bad. I will say that much. They did do good acting. And that's basically it. The Omen from 1976. I will be reviewing the sequels at a later date. Thank you very much. And if you think that this was a bad review, then it's quite fitting, because to me it was a bad movie. It sucked. I approve this message, even though I don't approve the movie.